actually pick and choose of the 800 images which ones you see? And the short answer is yes and no. We have a formula that is really scientifically solid. And inside the entire experience of Positive Prime, we also have some very interesting intentions that are behind the scenes. And one of them is really about diversity and inclusion. And so we have an incredible number of images that address people's unconscious biases. And it's one of the reasons why, and this might horrify you, but it is absolutely the truth. We have had people literally write to us and ask us to remove the Black people from our images. Yeah, that's an appropriate response. And I go, you know, you can actually remove yourself from our community. Bye. Right. Yeah.
2022.
Yes, in 2022. Yes. Yes. You'd be shocked. We're shocked. We're often shocked, actually. But it's not even that. I want to explain to you a much deeper reason that I think that you'll really understand. And that is, sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And if the universe is actually trying to provide enough stimuli that is reorchestrating, reorganizing the people, the circumstances and the situations, the opportunities that will bring about that next stepping stone for you, it could be something that is literally an image in our collection of 800 for each of the sessions that is almost like a seed being planted in your superconsciousness that allows you to actually move towards something that will enable you. It sounds very esoteric, but there's a consequence and implication, often unintended, with some of the images that we would not choose, right? And I'll give you an example. Let's just say I really want some images of Tahiti, which, by the way, at the moment, being an Australian and having Qantas be our national carrier means I can't quite get to French Polynesia as easily as I would like to, even though I really want to go there now. Right. But maybe my soul needs for me to go to Oman on my way to Dubai. And that's actually going to be an incredible piece of a puzzle that I actually don't know that my higher self needs before going to Tahiti. And so in our formula, we actually have a lot of photographs that are, let's call them ingredients in your grandest expression of your higher self. They're images that you will not have chosen yourself because you would be creating an ideal future based upon your current vibrational frequency. Right? Yeah, you got it. You got it. I'm so glad that you got it. Right?
That is blowing my mind and I've got chills. I love it.
Thank you.
Cool.
You know, I have to say this to you, Mahara. There are sessions that are created by our clients. So we have great authors and speakers and coaches and incredible experts and authorities, one of whom is actually here with us, Bruce Barnes, right? Well, Bruce Barnes's life experiences and his sage part of his character shines through in his session. And it's like he is sitting here on my shoulder when I'm watching his session, right? So in fact, what we'll do is we'll go there and we'll get it. But here's the beautiful thing about Bruce, is that when I'm watching his session, do you know it's his energy, the essence of him? Oh, he has 2 sessions, but you know what? Actualizing my full potential, you know, yeah, hello, I'm up for that. Alrighty, so we're going to play his session. Well, do you know Bruce has Bruceisms that I don't have? Right? They're not the kinds of things that my self-talk would actually naturally say. I haven't been exposed to the same conditions. I haven't I haven't been through the same life lessons as Bruce has. And I can guarantee to you, I need Bruce in my life, just like I need hundreds of other Positive Prime professionals who create these sessions that we watch, right? And what Bruce actually shares with me, and indeed anybody else who's here, like I can see Patty's here, Patty has a session, Jackie's here, Jackie has a session. So I'm just going to speed it up, right? And then I'm going to slow it down. Potential is all around me. Do you know I don't go around all day going, oh, potential is all around me. See, look, potential's all around. Kim, remind yourself the potential's all around you, right? It's not something that I've written. It's not the way that I would express it. But thank goodness Bruce did. And so I believe that we need to create from who we are not yet. Awesome, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy awesome. Crazy awesome.
It is. It is. Thank you. And so I'll just go over here and put it into the chat. We actually do have a program for lots of different ways to join us at Positive Prime, and it's through our professional leaders programs. And so maybe you want to go and read that and keep that little link and save it. And one day when it's the right time for you, for the right reasons, you might really want your own Positive Prime session. And we have lots of different ways that people share Positive Prime sessions. They can do so with just their team members or just the employees in their organization or just the clients of their spa or retreat or salon, or, you know, there's lots of different applications, I suppose, for a Positive Prime session. We create hundreds of Positive Prime sessions a year for clients, and they're not actually on our Positive Prime platform. Being featured on our platform and being available for our subscribers to see is a completely different level. And of course, we go through a rigorous process to actually ensure that somebody is truly walking their talk. They are authentic. They have genuine and sincere, you know, it's almost like their heart is pure. That's probably the most important thing about a Positive Prime session author. We need to know that they're the right people for a global audience, and they've got a message that is sensitive to the world and its wants and needs. And so being a Positive Prime professional leader, someone like the people who are here. So that's brilliant, isn't it? See how fabulous your question was and how in service of everybody you are in asking that. Thank you. Thank you, Mahara.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the information, and it just makes me so excited because it just makes, I'm so happy. Nice to meet you all. Bruce, I'm checking yours out and everybody else's. I'm going to check you all out. Whoever's on, I'm on it. There's many hours in the day left.
Woo! Mahara, tell me something also. I'm just going to exit out of here. Sorry, Bruce. Love you. Be back to you soon. Have you found coaching pearls?
I haven't found it.
Can you see this?
Okay. I can see that.
Have you found the coaching pearls yet?
Oh,
no.
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Well, let me draw everybody's attention to this, because I think that this is actually part of the greatest value that we have for our subscribers. Yes, of course, every Positive Prime session is the most amazing neuroscientific version of a class or a coaching session, right? And Robin, you love the coaching pearls. Have you actually figured out who's one of your favorite people yet? Robin, tell us.
There's I'd have to go back in and look, but there's a couple of people besides yourself that are that have become my favorite. I just can't think of the name, but it's a gentleman, and there's like I try to watch him every day in the mornings, and there's been like a couple of them that like just really resonate with me.
Oh, good on you.
Mean, and pretty much it's, if something resonates, I will automatically heart it.
Oh, you will automatically heart it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't know if anybody knows this, but let's just say, oh, look, of course, I'll choose me on day 18. I could have chosen anyone else, but anyway, if you really like this, you can heart it. And then it'll actually appear over here in my sessions, right? So what's hearted appears over here. What I can tell you, sorry, is if you go here to heart, you can see I've actually been hearting. So this one is my new one that I hearted. And if I want to go and see the next one or the previous one, it's pretty easy to do so these days. But the intention of these coaching pearls, I want you to imagine, right? Some of the best coaches on the planet, gosh, they charge anywhere between $300 and $3,000 for a coaching session, don't they, Jackie? Hey?
Well, and it goes up to 3 million, depending on who you're coaching with and what their specialty is. The more specialized, the more dollars.
That's true. If you're coached by Tony Robbins, it most certainly is $3 million. You're right. You're absolutely right. Well, let's just say that most of the people who are offering coaching pearls, their wisdom that they're sharing or inspiration they're sharing, it's either educational or entertaining, and it's within a maximum of 5 minutes, but a preference for 3 minutes. So basically you have 3 minutes. Let me just view them all again. 3 minutes of just this gem, something that you can apply instantly, something that you can actually carry forth with you, something that's thought-provoking and reflective. Robin, am I giving fair enough words here? You are. And Jackie, you're right. I saw that you wrote in the comments, Anita Green's coaching pearls are fantastic, aren't they? They most certainly are. So more and more people are actually who are in our professional leaders community, who are qualified coaches and great authorities and experts. They're continually giving to us these coaching pearls so that our subscribers get even more value. Well, I don't know, if I was just to add this up and it was like 3 minutes times 365 days a year, and that's like 1,100 minutes, or 1,100 minutes divided by 60 minutes an hour, it's basically 18 hours of coaching. And if I think about that 18 hours of excellence, even at $300 now, not $3,000 now, it's over $5,500 of value just for every single Positive Prime subscriber. Now, remembering, and most people don't know this, tell me that you found this, Mahara, invites. Have you actually shared your Positive Prime subscription with anyone yet?
No, but I'm about to.
Oh, good on you.
I'm about to. So I know this is on my agenda to do because I'm just loving it so much.
Alrighty. So you can actually have 5 people associated with your primary account if you're the subscriber. And admittedly, if you stop paying, so will their access as well. You can enter someone's first name, their email address, and it automatically creates an email and sends it to them with the link. And when they click that link, they get basically attached to you, right? So if someone doesn't take you up on your offer quickly enough, or they don't seem to value what it is that you've just shared with them, you can retract the invite. You might actually have an arrangement with some of the people who are in your team or in your organization or in your employ. And you can actually say, I really want to give you a month's experience of this. And then you can retract the invitation after you ring them at the end of the month and say, you know what, it's now time for you to go and upgrade and pay yourself. And you can send them to upgrade account or suggest that they do. And they go down and choose monthly or yearly in and of their own power. But if they haven't done that within 24 hours or 7 days or however long it is that you want to give them, you just retract the invite, right? That's fair enough, isn't it? Awesome. All righty. So what else do you want to know? Robin, want to know anything in particular?
I had questions on my way home from work, but they're
gone.
not here. Yeah. But my main thing you touched on, because I was really heavily thinking about that when I was coming back from St. Augustine on my drive home yesterday.
Okay, well, that's just beautiful. All right, so as you know, I'm here every week and joined by some other people who can come on out and share as well. This is really just for you. It's for you to be able to ask some questions. Jackie, is there anything you'd like to share with everybody here? Or Bruce, is there anything you'd like to share? Patty, anything you'd like to share with the people who are here?
Well, thank you. You know, if you offer me a microphone, I'm going to take it and figure out what I'm going to say after I start talking. What I've found is that with the work we're doing with resolving emotional trauma, we're using the positive prime to fill that void. So as people take out their mental and emotional trash, they are required to use the positive prime sessions to fill that space back up. And what we're finding is that people are loving it because it's so easy. You know, just turn it on. So we've started coming up with games as far as how to hook it to habits they already have. Like, you're making a rule, you have to watch your positive prime session before you open your email. You know, things like that, so that they already have the habit of being on their computer. They have the habit of opening their email. Now they've hooked it to a habit they already have.
Oh, I do love that. I have a habit now that I've only just started to create over the last couple of months of picking up my laptop that's on my bedside stand or table, whatever you want to call it, the thing beside my little head. And when I wake up, I grab it and I literally turn it on, open up, and away I go. And I watch a couple of sessions. And interestingly enough, every week now we're really good and disciplined about highlighting 2 sessions that we're featuring at the top, and every week we're really good at changing that. And so every single week I'm watching new sessions and I go, oh wow, see, I used to watch this one a lot, and then I started watching something else a lot, and I'm so glad that I've just been refreshed with that. And I remember how just incredible the range of content that we have is, and the numbers of people who have contributed with their gorgeous souls to the Positive Prime community. I mean, it's phenomenal, really, truly phenomenal. And so that's a great habit. First thing I do, open up my laptop, watch Positive Prime session. Gosh, it makes a difference. I mean, every so often I test myself and say, oh, I'm not going to watch any sessions, which is kind of ridiculous for a week. I'm the one that pays the price with my own energy and my own faith in myself and my future and my own attention to what matters and my own ability to be really efficient and really effective. It's just a price too big to pay. Back to watching Positive Prime. And then it's almost like I overdose on it because I'll try to watch as many sessions as I possibly can, as fast as I can. Got to get that boost back, you know? You do. Patty, thank you, Jackie. Yeah, great.
Jackie, everybody who talks, I pick up something. I'm taking notes. And how many calls have I been on over the past like 5 or 6 years? And it's amazing. I just wanted to share that I've been working with a few of our Positive Prime coaches and experts to create sessions. Maybe they already had one or they're creating a new one. And I also, in doing so, appreciate that we really are authors of these experiences that we put out into one of those sessions. And each person who is working so diligently to create those statements that mean something to them, and the images that they really like or don't like or want more of or don't want more of, sort of like what you were talking about, Mahara, earlier, make every session unique. So now as I'm going through some of those and then I get to see them come out, I sort of live them in a different way, and also even doubly appreciate that honestly no two are alike. And I think that the power of that, you know, is something I appreciate more every time I sit down to choose a session. That's what I had to share.
Oh, I love that, Patty. Thank you. Yeah, Patty's right. For the last 6 years, Bruce, you have known and worked and loved and supported and been involved with everything we're doing for at least that many years as well. Anything you want to add right now?
No, it's just a phenomenal platform and like just a genius idea that you came up with here. I love it. And because there's, you know, seen other digital vision boards, so to speak, where what I love about the uniqueness of the way Positive Prime works is the fact that it shuffles every time you watch it. So you're not anticipating what the next slide. It's like memorizing a script. It's like it shuffles the lines, so you don't know what's going to show up with the associated with what image. And I love it. And yeah,
Bruce, it's so interesting that you bring that up, because do you know, I was talking to someone the other day who actually watches quite a lot of Positive Prime sessions and has done for quite a long time, and had no idea about the reshuffling. And I'm thinking, how could you have missed that memo? Right? We talk about it a lot, but clearly never when they were actually available to listen. Or sometimes I think we hear what it is that we want or need to hear, even though there was just so much more said. From a neuroplasticity point of view, our brains need novelty, and Positive Prime wouldn't work the way that it does do if we didn't have that reshuffling. And it does mean that I can watch the same sessions as I do and have done for months and months and months and months and months and still not be bored, because my brain is actually seeing these messages in a different order. Do you know, I really want to bring to your attention a new page that we have. So let me just grab it for you. And it's got a couple of really short videos. Let me put it here into the chat for you. And this particular page, it's interesting. It has short videos, super short videos, and I explain some of how the reshuffling also helps us to manifest in the gap. And for those of us who follow people like Deepak Chopra or Dr. Joe Dispenza or Esther Hicks and so forth, most don't understand how necessary that functionality is and why it is so remarkable. So there are these really super short little videos where I've really tried to explain, like this one, manifesting in the gap. It's only a couple of minutes. This one down here, your mind is like an iceberg. It's only a couple of minutes. I definitely go and watch a couple of these very short little videos. So hope all of that helps. There are some great success stories. There are, you know, a couple of workshops that I've done for other people where they've invited. Wayne Dyer taught the gap. Yes, he did. And do you know, Deepak Chopra, Robin, actually is the person who created a whole series of workshops around how do you get into the gap, that pre-conscious processing, that fraction of a millisecond before you're even aware of what it is that you're thinking or doing, where there's space between two thoughts, that fleeting, that flying in and out, that we didn't even notice that we had that idea, but we didn't grasp it, and it's gone so fast. But actually, it's in the gap where we manifest what it is that we truly desire. And it's what puts us on automatic pilot. And so when you control what's in the gap, you might have some secrets. Oh, that might be what Positive Prime is really about. Oh, okay. Robin, before we go, quick.
You said that Deepak Chopra, I mean, I've listened to a lot of Deepak Chopra's books and stuff. Can you guide me to the one where he talks about the gap? Because I was only familiar with Wayne Dyer's book. I can't remember if it's a book or a meditation where he took you through to teach you how to get into the gap.
Look, I did a retreat actually with Deepak here in Australia a couple of years ago. Let me think. You know, Deepak's very, very valuable, the 7 spiritual, God, what's it called? 7 spiritual laws of success. Have you read that book?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, I read it years and years and years ago. Do you know, Dr. Catherine's asking for now Dr. Wayne Dyer's instructions on getting into the gap. So is that the name of the book, Catherine?
Yes,
Getting into the gap?
Yes, Getting into the Gap. That's Wayne Dyer's, right?
Wow. Do you know how cool that is, that it's the first time I'm hearing that. I met Wayne actually one evening. I was invited to this private party. This is such a wild story. It's in Toronto. The Hay House You Can Do It conference was then. I was negotiating with Hay House at the time. They wanted to publish this book, I'm Grateful for You, and they wanted me to sign over the rights to my brand forever to them. I was like, yeah, no, I don't think so.
I just ordered your book.
Did you? Did you find it? Because you know, they're very rare.
Yeah, I found it.
Oh, wow. Okay, so, and you know, the I Am Grateful session is also really the animated version or the digital version of the book. So anyway, back to Wayne Dyer. So this particular evening, there was literally only 20 of us. It was Louise Hay's 80th birthday private party. And only because I happened to be there, I was invited by Peggy McCall, Peggy McCall had been dating Bob Proctor's son, Brian, right? And Peggy invited me to this party, and there was Debbie Ford, who, you know, rest her soul. And there was Dr. Wayne Dyer, there was Louise Hay, as gracious and as gorgeous and as vibrant as I imagined that she would be in real life. And there were oh, Cheryl Richardson was there. There was only a few of us. And I actually had that moment where I was pinching myself and go, how did I get here? I had actually already invented Positive Prime back then, but I didn't share it on a platform like this. I actually used it only for my own clients in my own retreats. Really interesting, hey? So anyway, had I known then what I know now, I wouldn't have left the room or any of their sides. I would have just, I don't know, I would have been a different person in that space at that time. But it was an extraordinary experience. And I learned then that who we are and who we're vibrating at and what it is that we're focused on gives us these opportunities in life for us to seize. I had to say yes. I was in Australia when Peggy suggested to me that I come to Toronto in Canada. Do you know how far away Toronto is from Brisbane, Queensland? It's a long way, right? And Peggy just, you know, off the cuff, you know, Kim, you should really be here for the You Can Do It conference. And I was like, why? And she said, because I'm telling you, you should be. I was like, oh, okay. So sometimes we have these guides or these mentors, these coaches or these people that we follow in our lives, and when they suggest something, particularly someone like Peggy McCall, there are moments when one should listen. And I did. And actually, you know what? The rest of the trajectory of who is Kim Serafini and what is Positive Prime was really actually born then. Do you know, it was actually at that event, I hardly ever tell these stories, right? So anyway, so at that event, I met Sonia Rakotti, and she hadn't yet come up with Unsinkable, but she had this idea for a telesummit. And telesummits like 15 years ago were not a thing, right? Anyway, she wanted me to basically speak on this teleconference. I think it's because I've got an Aussie accent. I don't know why, but anyway, whatever. And at that stage, Sonia Rakotti was already working with Mark Romero. Anyway, so I know, Jackie, you know Mark Romero. Anyway, classic long story. So I was one of the first featured speakers in Sonia Rakotti's little crew. I was also the #1 sales conversion. She literally is the person who forced me into thinking about how do I share what is a Positive Prime session with a larger audience. And she is the reason, isn't this interesting? She is the reason why we started to come up with ways to convert people's content into a Positive Prime session. So we actually created an Unsinkable session. It still exists. It's just not available to anyone else, because funnily enough, she doesn't want it available to anyone else other than her people. I kind of like it available to everybody else, but it is Sonia's Unsinkable, except of course I wrote it. And so I literally sat down with the manuscript of her first book, and I helped her to understand everything at the time that she knows about positive psychology and neuroscience. And I said, so this, if we capture the essence of this message and we actually put this into a statement onto a slide, and then we have these images that reinforce this message, then anybody who is actually engaged in the unsinkable message will have this message go deeper into the way that cognition works, so they'll be able to recall it and live it and everything else like that. So anyway, that's the true story. It was Sonia Accotti's content that made me think, how do I create Positive Prime sessions for other people? If it hadn't been for her, the rest might not be history. Right? Bizarre, isn't it? Had I not actually taken that nudge, go to Toronto, what a stupid idea. No, thank gosh. Like, seriously, I wish the world was that free now, where I could just go, oh, I'd like to go to Toronto and get on an airplane. Flights that aren't scheduled and don't exist if we're Australians wanting to fly Qantas. COVID be gone, right? I want to be set free. Alrighty. Dr. Catherine, you had a personal music session with Mark several years ago. Did you? Patty can tell you, we actually invited, oh, Bruce was there. We invited Mark Romero to an event we had in Carlsbad, California. Mahara, you definitely want to come to one of our little Positive Prime Secrets grill. No, they're just fun, aren't they, Bruce? Super down to earth, super casual, super relaxed.
Oh, it was so much fun. And yeah, and I also had a session with Mark and created a special meditation song for me just on the fly. It was wonderful.
Ah, magical, truly magical. Okay, so there you go. A little bit of extra for you. Guess what? I've got another meeting that's smacking up against this one. I've got to go. I love you all. I'll see you next week if you want to come back. Thank you. Mwah. Bye.